Hey good people, Batavia here. We're going to talk about growing in buckets. It's container gardening. I actually have some details on some super duper cheap or free buckets. See you in a few. Okie doke. So quick housekeeping items. Thank yous to those who like, watch, comment, share, subscribe to Be Better Garden. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, consider it. And if you do, there's a notification bell you can hit. You'll be alerted each time I share more #GardenJoy. All right, so let's dig in. We talk about, being resourceful, repurposing things. These are food grade buckets that I got for free from like bakeries. Go to your local grocery store, their bakery department. They're getting icing and all kinds of, fruits for the things that they make in these buckets. And I just explained, hey, I'm hoping that you can share some of them. I'll use them for my garden. And oftentimes they'll give you what they have on hand. These are 5-gallon buckets on this end. Then it moves down to size. Next up is 4-gallon buckets. And then the smaller ones are 2 gallons. So I've used these for growing. I've used it to haul stuff back and forth. I mean, it's whatever you need it for. I'm going to clean up some of these before I get started planting. I'll probably need to drill some bigger holes in some of these. But yeah, great resource. Okay, so we have the collards from the spring. These were 2 extra collards that I had that I put into these containers. These are all buckets, and they were moved out of a regular container to those because I just couldn't throw them away. And while we have had some aphid damage, they are absolutely still, these leaves are edible, and that's what I'm looking for. This is, I don't know, maybe it was parsley that's gone to seed, but it's parsley that's gone to seed, which is super cool. Celery that didn't quite form, but these leaves are still edible. This is the forward hook chard, one of my favorite chards. It's a lot less earthy as some of your other chards, so I like that. You got some leaves that have gone bad here. And we have some cabbage, which we'll come back to. And then we have some peppers that, at this point, we're now a day away from our average first frost. We're not going to get it tomorrow, but it's coming within the next week. So I'll harvest these peppers, but these others, they won't form out here. So I'm teetering on what to do with some of these containers and if I'm going to overwinter. My buddy Ben and I just had an episode of the Backyard Garden podcast where we talked about overwintering, and I was kind of anti it, but now I'm not so sure. Anyway, that Vivid Pak Choi that's in containers. I can't remember the name of these peppers, but from what I can tell, they're designed to grow smaller. Look at that beautiful Vivid Pak Choi. These are volunteers, actually. I didn't plant this. And then that was the remnants of some squash that didn't quite make it. But the thing that stopped me in my tracks this morning was the red cabbage. So this is where the 2-gallon containers stop. Let's see, it's pretty heavy. We had a lot of rain here. So that's a 2-gallon container. And then we start with 4-gallon, and the last few are 5 gallons. But the thing that stopped me in my tracks is that these have actually formed heads. So I planted these back in the spring. This goes back to like maybe May. And once the weather really warmed up, and I shared this in some videos, they just weren't forming a head. And so someone commented, I can't remember if it was on YouTube or Instagram, and said, I wonder what will happen when the weather gets cool. And in my mind now, I'm not sure if it was me. But anyways, maybe the thought went out there, and anyway, I left them here, and look what's happened. They're mini. Just for reference, that's probably the smaller of the 2 that I planted in raised beds. But the rule, it's still edible. So, gosh, I have my bright yellow sweatshirt on because it's kind of gloomy and cloudy here today in Chicago, and I needed to pick me up, and sometimes a bright shirt or a sweatshirt can do that for me. But hey, this is the joy I needed. #GardenJoy. All right, I'll see y'all on the next one.